Things are escalating in Eastern Europe. Poland is making a big claim. They say their airspace was violated by Belarus. They say 2 attack helicopters crossed over on Tuesday. If true, this is a major escalation. You see, Poland is a member of the NATO alliance. Belarus is Putin's biggest ally. A clash between these 2 countries would be disastrous. So what exactly happened? The first reports emerged early on Tuesday. Polish residents near the border posted suspicious pictures. They claim to have seen choppers with Belarusian symbols. At first, Poland denied this. But around evening, Warsaw made a U-turn. The Defense Ministry admitted that there was indeed a violation. So what changed? Poland says the helicopters were flying low, so the radars found it hard to detect them. But Belarus has another theory. They claim that Poland made a U-turn after getting orders from the West. Basically, that Warsaw is lying. So which side do we believe? If Belarusian President Lukashenko did order this move, it is a brave one, maybe borderline reckless. He has allowed Russia to use Belarus as a staging ground. He's also hosting Wagner fighters, but he has drawn one red line, and that's joining the war officially. That's something Belarus has not done yet. Belarusian soldiers are still inside their barracks. Would President Lukashenko risk changing that? And that too by attacking a NATO country? Imagine if this alleged helicopter adventure went wrong. Belarus would have been at war with NATO. So logically, it makes no sense whatsoever. Having said that, Poland did warn about this. Their prime minister said Wagner fighters could attack from Belarus. Lukashenko, of course, has denied this claim. He says there is no rogue Wagner movement.
I have to teach my units, because an army that does not fight is half an army. You also understand this very well. I don't want to go to war. I don't want our guys to die. Therefore, we need to teach them. So Wagner are transferring their experiences. They give advice and suggest some things.
Well, Lukashenko is not helping his case, and I'll tell you why. Last month, Putin was hosting Lukashenko in St. Petersburg in Russia. Midway through the talks, the Belarusian president decided to joke. He said Wagner fighters are eager to go on a trip to Warsaw. Maybe he thought it was funny, but when the punchline of your joke is all-out war, people may not find it funny. And Putin too made allegations against Poland. He said Warsaw wants to seize Ukrainian land. So put together, you have a very complicated equation. Poland, Belarus and Russia have never been friends. They have unfinished business from the Soviet times, and now there is a new variable in this equation, and that variable is called the Wagner fighters. Around 1,000 of them are based in Belarus. Poland believes they could be used to wage a proxy war. If that happens, what will NATO do? That is the big question. Technically, Wagner is independent from Russia. They're now anti-Putin, remember? So a Wagner attack, can it be seen as a Russian attack? Well, Washington says absolutely.
This group, at the behest of the Russian government, because they do not work independently of the Russian government, is a threat to all of us, and we have to ensure that the message is clear that any attacks by the Wagner group will be seen as an attack by the Russian government.
Now, a couple of things to note here. One, didn't the West cheer Wagner's mutiny? They billed it as some big defeat for Vladimir Putin. But now they're all making a U-turn. They say Wagner and Russia are the same. Second, the stakes are now much higher. Using Wagner was supposed to give Putin plausible deniability. He could have shifted the blame from himself, but Washington is on to him. They're saying Wagner or not, Moscow will take the blame if there is such an attack. So what is the next move? If Tuesday's incursion did happen, we should all be quite worried. Poland is moving around 1,000 soldiers to the border. They're preparing for the worst. And if Poland is attacked, NATO will have to join this war. It's a legal obligation. Remember the Article 5. If one member is attacked, all of them declare war. An attack on one NATO member is an attack on all. On the other side, Belarus too has a backup. Last month, Putin made a public promise to Lukashenko. He said an attack on Belarus would be an attack on Russia. So will things descend to that? Like I said, there is deep mistrust between Belarus and Poland, not just over Ukraine, but many issues. They also have guarantees from bigger powers, Poland from NATO, Belarus from Russia. So could they use this chance to settle personal scores? It's a dangerous prospect. which is why we need calmer heads to prevail. And the last thing we need is irresponsible jokes and taunts.